Whether you own a gun or want more gun control, listen up. There is a bill in Congress you need to know about. News Channel 13 political reporter Marshall Zellinger live to explain how gun ownership could change.
Well, Heather, this bill would simply require some sort of license for just about every gun in America. The Illinois congressman behind this bill wants to prevent gun injuries or deaths from crimes where a gun is involved and in the hands of criminals or teens. He also wants to help speed up investigations when a gun is involved. But we want to know, would this really protect you or help police? In the next hour, nearly 12 people will be shot in the United States. So what do these 9 pages of legislation have to do with that statistic?
It's not going to do one single thing to stop a criminal from getting a firearm.
Why?
Paperwork never has.
Paul Paradis owns Paradise Sales Firearms and is a forensic investigator. He says this bill, which would require a license for nearly every gun in America, wouldn't help him do his forensic work any faster or better.
That doesn't tell you who pulls the trigger. That doesn't tell you where that gun came from.
Right now, when you buy a gun, you fill out one of these yellow forms.
Are you a wanted felon? Are you addicted to marijuana?
You show your license and get a background check performed by the Colorado Bureau of Investigation and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This bill would add a lot more to that. Start with your thumbprints. Pass a written firearms test. Sign over any possible mental health records. And then there's that new fee of up to $25 per gun.
As an active investigator, I just don't see how that would help us.
When law enforcement find a gun at a crime scene, the ATF already traces it back to its original owner, not necessarily the person who shot it last. This bill would establish a new database of every gun owner, a one-stop shop to make that trace faster.
I can't recall a case where the actual person that bought the gun was the one that committed the whatever, shooting or robbery or whatever.
Well, right now the bill's not doing anything, but we don't know what might happen next week.
Republican Congressman Doug Lamborn says you're calling his office weekly about this bill, which so far isn't going anywhere. Both Lamborn and Democratic Congressman John Salazar oppose this idea.
It puts onerous restrictions on buying or owning a firearm.
This bill would also make it harder for private sales of guns, for example, for me selling to you. The fact that this bill exists in the first place, good news for gun control advocates. The fact that it hasn't moved at all, good news for gun enthusiasts. There is a wild card, however. Then Congressman Rahm Emanuel, 2 years ago, was a co-sponsor to this bill. He is now the chief of staff of President Obama. If this bill moves, you'll be the first to hear about it. Reporting live, Marshall Zellinger, News Channel 13.